This is the Bachelor Pad. Bachelor Pad Friday night. Aha. And I remembered to click the mic, so no more echo. All right. I did the last recording I did from the Red Room, actually forgot to click off the auxiliary sound and whatever to bring in a little music and whatever. I'm trying to be fancy. Forgot to click the button, so the button was on and it was echoey. So this should be awesome. Sound quality should be as good as it needs to be for a podcast. All right, we've got Jake Blazer, Reverend Blazer, and we've got McMakin. We finally got him to sit down and stop moving for more than 2 or 3 seconds. We'll see how long this goes.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, he's definitely one for moving his feet. All right, it is Friday night. We're one more week away from doing the Twitch, or actually probably not, a couple days away from doing the Twitch, doing it live stream and whatever. So if you do look at the Bachelor Pad Radio on Twitch, we'll go ahead and post it up to where we can interact. You can ask questions and do whatever throughout the show. Blazer, I asked you a little earlier about Nicole Arbor, right? Which
Right.
I wouldn't have guessed that you would have been a Nicole Arbor like person. That would have been someone you followed, but you have been for a year, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that tag means, Nicole Arbor person, but what else we can confirm that? But yeah, I followed her for years. I like what she does. It's funny, it's comical, it's topical, and it works. I think more so her editing is what really makes me laugh, like when she keeps doing the little goofy clips and the
pop-ins.
touchbacks. And
Well, it's comedy 101, right? When you do the recurring joke and you come back in. The editing and whatever, that is neat, right? It is good. A little bit better than just regular conversation. Do you know who this young lady is?
Not really. I think so. Maybe is she the one that has the faces weird and does the clips?
She's a really pretty hot blonde lady.
Right, but her comedian character screws her face up. Okay, I'm
Nope.
thinking of the wrong girl.
Nope, you're wrong, girl. You need to. She's funny and yeah, it's snorkel worthy. Like it's.
All right, fair enough. That's all you had to
Hello,
say.
how are you? Like.
That's why I was thinking it was the same chick that I'm thinking of. But
Nope, totally different. And we'll hip you to it. We'll make sure you either follow her. Dude, she pops up at the weirdest times. Like I'll be dropping a deuce and I see Nicole Arbor going live and I'm like, oh, you're really hot and it stinks in here.
Should we
And
side look her up?
yeah, if you want to, you're there.
Just
You're
so I can be up to speed.
up to
at least
speed.
get the you'll
Yeah,
know
get the
if you see
visual.
her.
She's neat.
I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but let me just double check.
I went through like a weird anthology of how did she get to this point in podcasting and whatever, right? Number one, super pretty blonde girl, right? She did a thing about, it's weird because she bashes feminists and, feminazis.
Oh no, that is not the one I was thinking of.
No, not at all.
I'd much rather watch her. All right.
Yes. And she's funny and whatever and sexy
Sure.
and
It's funny and witty and special.
and she owns
And she's got a brain too.
she owns all of her stuff. Like she's
Nice.
I get it, I'm hot and whatever, but she did a thing of it's, females are holding other females back and whatever. So she goes against feminism, against overtly, sexualization, and she's like, I get it, whatever. The thing that got me today, which I watched a lot of, was the Dear Fat People.
Ooh.
It was a thing, right? It was a, like, dude, it caused, she was on The View, and, like, YouTube shut her thing down for a minute, and it was a real thing. How I didn't hear about this and whatever, because we've seen some of the fat shaming videos and some of the other things and whatever that are,
Yeah, fat shaming. We'll go with it.
what's ahead?
It's just fat shaming.
Well,
Sure, yeah.
it would be interesting, and obviously, it's noteworthy when you, huh?
Do you know how I feel about fat people? Right.
Well, yeah, no.
that's fine.
So look, this is no place to bite your tongue.
Oh, all right.
Right?
Just want to make sure.
It's not, and
Fat people beware.
yeah. Well, and look, her take on it, and it's a lot like mine. When people say they can't diet and they can't do whatever, well, I want to date this guy and he's good looking and whatever, but no guys that I like me and whatever. Okay, it's science, right? You have caloric intake, you have your body's ability to use those calories, and the generalized amount of exercise it would take to burn off said calories. There is no doubt, and she touched on the big bone, oh, I'm just big boned and whatever, and well, we're fat
So
and
are
happy.
Vikings. They're not fat.
And when you look at scientifically and you look at health, health reasons, yes, it is not healthy. When you look at a skeletal like X-ray and you look at the amount of body mass and whatever, it is awesome. It would have been interesting for y'all to have watched it or you to have known who the woman is, but my thing, right? This is as off color as you could probably get. But the Jews, I don't think they're that, sensitive. I never saw one tubby person in Auschwitz, right? If you restrict someone's diet, and I've watched all those Holocaust videos and whatever, and no bagging on the Holocaust and whatever, we get it, it was bad and whatever. But in that same token, when you restrict caloric intake to a point, you will shrink. You will look like a skeleton.
This is true.
So
camps everywhere.
Look, and here's where it comes down to the same thing of when we've briefly touched on this for an hour before about the idea of kind of the offended thing, and here's it reshapes back in this mechanism of. Like, yes, there are differences. Like, there are some people that if you take in 2,000 calories, you will get fatter and your body doesn't process it as much. It's no different than I'm not, naturally smart. But guess what you do? You read extra books and you can become a smart person. Your body naturally stores fat. Guess who's got to run a couple extra miles? I'm sorry, the world cannot cater to you for every disadvantage that you have. Because in some way, all of your advantages have to be curbed for all the people that don't have that. Everyone has problems. Deal with it or don't. And this weird, like, I went on campus at UNT, there were always like the fat pride things, like really fat, out of shape, ugly.
Really, who's proud to be fat?
That's what I'm saying. It's like you feel like you put something into that, like you feel like that was a form of dedication.
They put
sure, lots of thing, but
hey, if you're gonna do it, then why don't you be an offensive lineman?
well, look,
and it
goes into a discrimination.
The greater good of a championship,
right? Well, it goes into a discrimination thing, right? Oh, don't discriminate and whatever. Now, her take was, look. Maybe your friends and maybe other people should tell you, right? Like I think
people
you
that
have
love you the most tell you which that you do not want to hear.
Right, or kids, right? Kids are kind of
they're
dicks, right? Kids
You're
be like,
fat, lady.
yeah, you go over and you meet your buddy, like Ray Wide's little nephew and whatever. He was like, oh, why are you orange, right? Yeah, and I was like, and they were like, Kyle, and I'm like, I'm kind of orange, right?
More red.
And then if I was,
I'm related to Trump.
yeah, that's right, I'm a part of the Trump peoples, but. In that same token with, oh, who's the fat lady? Don't say that and whatever. No, you are, categorically obese or fat or
at
whatever.
least relatively in the room. Are you the fattest person in the room? That'll do. That's a proper description.
We keep a decent check on one another, right? And look, this is videoed, right? We're not extremely, skinny, super svelte people. We were football players, athletes, or whatever. Guess what happens when you stop working out, running, and doing whatever? And as you age, you get, you put on weight. You have no excuse. You're young, right? We have excuses.
I do because I don't care. Again, for the points of it, like I said, whenever I'm there, I'm not going, oh my God,
That's
I'm
not
trying
an excuse,
to.
That's
I
a
can't.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I don't. Whenever look, I spend probably 30 to 40 hours in some field of advanced PhD in knowledge every week. I weigh that out in my head. Would I like to have better biceps? No, because right now I like where I'm training my brain in the things that I'm knowing about. That weird lexicon thing didn't come from nowhere. That came from a large, vast.
I dig lexicon
reason.
lexicons
So,
too. That's cool.
Well, and that goes to the point, right? And one of the things that we touch on, obviously, in our other talks and whatever, not necessarily on the Bachelor Pad. Bachelor Pad is not necessarily the most intellectual of meeting places, right? But every now and again it does happen because Blazer is extremely smart, right? He teeters on the on the on the genius spectrum in IQ, right?
You can tell by the haircut.
That's right. Weird haircuts, smart people, right? But it's funny because we've talked about this, right? Some people don't understand, like the reason why we've been in the beverage business for years, and when it comes to labeling and nutritional values and whatever, if you take the average individual and you break down what's in there, right? Everyone will see sugar and a certain amount of sugar is good or bad, but they don't know how many calories are in a gram of carbohydrate in protein and whatever, right? Most people. And it's weird when you do break that down. Science,
Everyone
science
should have a Blazer.
Yeah. But when you look at it, it's a thing, right? If you're taking in more food than your body, it's like filling a gas tank. You fill up your gas tank. Oh, here's the gas. If you fill it up too much, it pours out. Same thing with your body. You take in enough food. Look, I like to eat. Being hungry and eating, and I love food. But I also realize that when I'm lighter, I'm in better shape, I get more vagina, right? And I like vagina. Right. I like 87 to 89%, I like vagina more than food. There are a few months where I go, fuck the vagina. I can take care of this myself.
I've seen it.
I want to eat pizza, and I will and it's not pretty.
It's horrible. It is like,
Have
get
you
your
ever
hands
seen Jake
away.
fuck a pizza? Ugh. It's not a pretty sight.
No, I don't really combine them that much.
Well,
I mean,
but it is there.
things have gotten weird a time or two.
I've seen them bang
Now,
a dresser.
we're all in sales. in some way, shape, or form. And I would imagine most of the people that are listening to a podcast either A, have their own business, B, are millennial, wishing they could create an app for their business.
Okay.
'Cause they're
I
too
wasn't
lazy.
going with you there at the beginning, but go.
You're on
All
what
right.
I'm saying.
Okay.
Let's face facts, dude. Millennials are what they are. Number one, statistically, they are now, like it or not, people, the number one generation. They have surpassed baby boomers. There's more of them in the country and in the world than there are baby boomers. So at some point, they are going to run the world, like it or not.
Yeah, if nothing else, that whole age and death thing.
Yeah,
When
that
you get
happens all
old,
the
you
time,
die.
right?
Yeah,
but
that
sometimes,
thing
go ahead
too.
and tell that to a Vietnam vet. We're still number one.
Yeah, you're gonna die in 20 years, and it's all
Right.
the millennials.
But my point is that the millennials are a different faction of people, right?
Sure.
They're just not necessarily like everyone else. They would rather, their motto is work smarter, not harder, right? They've taken that to such an extent that what they'd rather do is sit there and work on an app all day long that hopefully will make them millions of dollars, and they can just
See, but
sit there in their boxes.
you've got a very
That's
broad
really-
stroke. We know quite a few of them who are dumb dick fucking bricklayers, right? We know plenty. They're not the hardest working bunch. It takes a while, right? But neither were we at that. Well, you kind of were.
Well,
Misguided and whatever, but you were.
I'm
I
a
do have a
millennial
point.
for
I
the
went
record.
off on a rant.
Okay,
tangent
go ahead.
But I will
Bring
always
it.
circle back. So here was my point. Initially, as salespeople and business owners, because I'm going to come back to the fat thing.
Oh, bring
First
it.
of all, let's talk about millennials. Opposite end. They're either athletic Division I beasts or skinny jean wearing like nothings. There's
So
like
a
no
whole
in between.
generation
So-
of 40 million people only fit into those two categories?
And, well, right now it's about that, except for fat people. There's your third category right there. So let me create this visual, if you will. So here's the difference between places like California, Texas, Florida, and Michigan. So would you disagree that it's a fact that if you're in a state where the sun shines constantly, you're less likely to be fat?
He's going to thwart you on this because Texas is actually one of the fattest states and
But
whatever.
they're allowed because they do everything big. They eat big, whatever. So let's exclude
Yeah, the barbecue
that
is
one
good.
portion. Let me just give you a real life thing. So from Michigan, I moved to California. The first thing I see when I get to California is nothing but beautiful people. And they're eating healthy. Everything is healthy, 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 healthy. I lived there for a short period of time. I moved back to Michigan. Literally, my first wife and I, the first place we go after we moved back into our house, and Denise will test this, we went to a Coney Island here in Michigan. If you don't know what that is, it's like a breakfast place. And most of them are open 24 hours. You can get breakfast 24 hours. There is a woman, and I shit you not, has a cigarette lit in one hand with two fingers through her coffee mug and a coney dog in another looking like 400 pounds. And she went bite, sip, puff. Bite, sip, puff.
Well, she's efficient. She may be an awesome secretary.
And she was in one of those roller scooter things because she was headed to Walmart right thereafter. So you tell me, what's the difference? Does that really happen in California? Maybe in
Okay,
Texas.
so
'cause-
I got two questions I need to ask. One other one, please feel free to just take it as rhetorical and don't really answer. First question is there a part of the United States where the sun shines more? Or are you going to really take in the amount of cloudiness, have to measure the amount of photons that reach the ground? How are you really quantifying where the sun shines? Don't answer it, please. I don't want to go down that
Okay.
route. All right. And the second one is that it seems very like a very specific scenario. Like you're not going to be able to, like if you go to the Walmart outside of here, you're not going to see, or you go
But
to
you
a
will see
Walmart
someone
and-
with a limp because I've yet to be to one Walmart where there's not a limping motherfucker.
And what I will say is there's two sides to this. One,
yeah,
as
there's the
a
front and the back, and they're both large.
that shit. No,
How's
to
it
this,
feel to be stumped?
To this point, I'm not stumped. I'm still talking. So there's two sides to it. Of yes, there is a different culture there about eating healthy and doing more. You'll see more organic foods and all sort of things. The education in general is there because they are technologically progressive. They have invested in infrastructure and technology for a long time. So their jobs aren't morons that want to lay bricks. They are that people that just look manual labor. It's going into machinery. Wherever you think.
Who are we talking about again?
California.
Okay.
Their infrastructure. Their
So
manufacturing.
there's no
stuff,
farmers
no,
because
no,
it's the
there
number
is
one
ones.
farming state in the nation is California.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I'm talking about their infrastructure of the building. As
Gotcha.
a state, they spent money into their infrastructure and technology and building tech companies and things like that. With that comes a lot of new things. If you introduce iPads at a cheaper price into schools, that is has tremendous effects on the youth that are learning from them because it's so much easier to go from book to look up resources and all the other ones. They went very progressive into technology. All of them, they've everything. But where's Tesla located? Right?
Where's Google?
Somewhere not there. Is it?
It is in California, dude.
Is it? I thought they moved into like somewhere weird, like Utah, and like really.
Well, they might have moved there, but they're from right there.
Whatever. My main point is, look, there's a value in information and technology there that seems progressive. They were the first on the electric things, even when it was really expensive and hard.
PIMCO.
And that's kind of what they've been pushing towards. So yeah, you're going to see it more. The average person that you see in that wheelchair, you ask them how many calories in a cheeseburger, they may ask you what are calories. And that's a direct reflection on the education system.
If they can have another cheeseburger?
Possibly.
It is a possibility. But again, taking it, trying to go technical, none of us are, it's more of like the real life thing. And it's weird because then I watched rebuttals to the whole thing, right? And people that were, oh, well, I'm big and I'm proud and whatever. And again, it was funny because she touched on a few of the...
Really? Why are you crying in the closet eating a cheeseburger when no one looks?
Well, anyone being discriminated or whatever, nobody likes to...
Filet fish.
Nobody likes to be discriminated against or feeling that they're in a... they're in a group that is, that is being put down, or, why do you say this?
They're in a group being put down, because then they're not being put down alone.
I don't know. I don't care.
Kind of like NA and AA and all the rest of the groups, they feel better as a group because they're dealing with a specific struggle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny. I don't really care. I look at it. Will you not talk over whatever remember where you're at, sir? God damn it. So it'll take a while to get McMickey. You've listened to radio and stuff before, right? It's this very loose version, but tennis. There you go. There you go. Tennis, stable tennis. Forrest Gump, be the Gump. But in that same token, it's weird some of the backlash and whatever. Now we keep ourselves in check, right? We sit there. I'll call it Blazer. You're a tubby prick. Look at you, whatever. Oh, balls, yeah. Okay, change diet, whatever. He'll look at me and go, dude, you just plan on eating forever? What's going on? This is good. You haven't used your penis in a while, have you? And I'm like, no. All right, because there is a thing. I know personally. The better shape I'm in and the whatever, the more young ladies that you have. I like sex. I'm gonna 9 times out of 10, unless I'm just like screw it, I don't want to deal with women for a few. Eat, realize you're getting tubby, and get back.
I've seen that, Honoree.
Right? Yeah, and it's not, and you've done it. You've gone from very big, very small.
I've seen your frame of mind though, where you go, I'm not dealing with women.
Yeah, you go to town on
it.
You
just go on
like someone jackhammering on the highway, trying to I'm going to tear up this whole thing. You order 2 liters of the sugar. You're like, should I get a regular Coke? Or, you know what? Give me a Coke and put 70 sugars in it. And then, let's go ahead
the one thing he
and slap
does
a lard on
there's
the
a
fries.
rationale behind that, because he can't stomach, $1.89 or for $1.79, 10 cents cheaper, I get a 2 liter.
Generally, it's not. No, in regular fluid, and I learned that from Derek, right, where he was like, "Why are you buying this? We're in the beverage business. Why would you get 20 ounces versus this? And there's a 48 cents difference, and you get 3 times the volume." That's why I started Neanderthaling the big bottles. But I also believe that if I'm feeling weak or a cheat day, right, where I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna just eat whatever I want. There's a certain amount of food, just like protein. Your body can only take in a certain amount of protein before it passes it, through, whatever, right? Your body can only take in so much. So my logic is, if I'm going to eat, because I do like to eat, and I just restrict my diet and do X, Y, and Z, so I can, be in better shape, right? Or get into that point. I will eat a pizza, a 2 liter of Coke, the lava things from whatever, because I figure if I put it all into my body at that point, a certain amount of it is going to pass by. And I try and take mental snapshots of, oh, this was good. I'm sweating. My heart is beating, palpitating. This can't be healthy, but I'm going to get it all out of that one sitting and then go back to eating, right. Because if I'm going to do it, why have one peanut butter cup and go, because if I have that one peanut butter cup, then tomorrow I'm going to have a second peanut butter cup, right? And then all of a sudden I'm having peanut butter cups as my little snack after, and then it becomes a pattern. So I like to get it all out of the way and then go back to abstaining. It's not happening. I only eat chocolate, ish, I would say 3 or 4 times a year.
You do have a point, and I'll bring up my carrot cake. So I was trying to go no carbs, so I thought I'm going to reward myself once daily at the end of the day. A carrot cake. And I found out that I wasn't really getting the results I wanted.
You're
losing the weight I
spiking your
wanted.
insulin levels.
Right.
You're doing
And
whatever.
I
You're
was
doing it
crashing.
on a daily basis.
So what I did do then, I said, fine, I'm going to have one cheat day. And on that day, I ate pretty much a goddamn whole carrot cake, which almost made me sick to never want
sitting
carrot
there.
cake again.
There you go.
Right? Haven't had carrot cake since. That's all I had some last night.
It'd be irresponsible not to eat the carrot cake.
But my point is maybe you should just go gorge yourself until you're so fat you just can't take it anymore and look yourself in the mirror, and maybe you won't want it. Maybe you should go puke. Go puke it out. Turn into a bulimic. You might look better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, looking better, I mean, all of it's a personal thing. If you're fat and you're happy, or you just don't care, or whatever your thing is,
It's like I said, for me, it's a set of priorities. At the time, like, yeah, I get it. I still, every time, I understand the correlation between
Right.
weight and sex. But whatever, I'm like, hey, I think I just figured out how intracellular biology came about. You know,
All right.
that's
How
kind
about
of
this
exciting for me to
correlation?
go spend some time on.
Your weight and sex? How about my weight and I got to sit next to your fat ass on a plane?
So what?
You so what, right? You're not uncomfortable because you're doing that. I am. We spent the same amount of money. Why do you get to slob into my shit?
You think it's comfortable to slob into your shit?
No, but I'm just saying.
So in the same thing. So look, let's. And I really hate. to
Nowadays,
hammer nail.
people are buying 2 plane tickets just because they're fat.
Well, yeah,
I've
and that's what they
literally
should do. And that's the thing. Look, it's your thing. If that's what you want to do it. But I mean, we're sort of across. Like, I don't think you should be able to claim a special set of rights. But to anything else, cool. I hate beards. Beards freak me out. There's weird, creepy shit stuck in them all the time. You've got a beard, you can't sit next to me. You damn bearded bastards. You ought to just never shave for the rest of your life and look at what's stuck in there. Take a real look in the mirror and see what's really wrong with you and fix your beard problem. It doesn't seem to work on any type of applicable like policy to put into place. Of like what's the too fat? We know obese is 33% or like 30% body
33%.
fat. For
On
men,
men.
and then women it's like what
40.
30. Or that's right, it's higher. That's right. So
Actually, it's 46. Sorry.
again, like I said, I personally don't have a problem with someone being fat. I have a problem with you standing in the fat and going, respect us. You know, we're
Right.
fat and we're real people too. No.
well,
I mean,
and
we're all
she
fat.
she touched on a really cool point because she had a rant, right? And very much like your airline thing, you'll probably dig it when you watch the thing with her. That she was like, okay, so I get there an hour and a half early to get on the plane.
Yeah.
I sit there, and she's like, look, here comes a huge family, right? Just a family of big, like morbidly obese people, right? Well, they're standing in there. They walk up to the front of the line and they go, look, we need to go to the front of the line because our knees hurt and whatever. And they've got a handicap thing because they're so obese that obviously, their legs, their body, their skeletal form can't hold their mass. And you know what? They bow to that and okay, come on through, right? They have one handicap sticker or whatever. They go through. They got to be seated on the plane first, right? When we did, or you weren't with me, it was AP. When my last travel thing, anyone was special, saw somebody get carted up, didn't look like they were, and maybe they were, right? I don't want to go against the disability people, whatever. But the guy, he's got everything from I go to casinos and this and that and whatever. He pulls up and his wife, gets pulled up
He's wearing beads.
in a little automatic chair thing. She gets out and stands up better than I stand up out of a chair. Stands up. And they walk and sashay into and I'm like, and I didn't take much regard to it, but I did look. I can't say I didn't look. I'm not judging, but I was definitely inquisitive enough to look and go, you seem to be walking just fine, right? She may have a host and a litany of medical
She
problems
just
I
got
don't know of.
cancer yesterday. Who
Yeah,
knows? Yeah.
whatever it could be. But when all this stuff happens, and then they moved and they were like, somebody with a disability, and she was like, I'm not a heathen or a horrible person. Yeah, I'll move. And it ended up being letting one of the big people come in and sit, and her flight was uncomfortable and whatever, right? Now, you've got genetic deposit, or
And this is the comedian chick.
yeah. And she went into this rant and whatever, and it's awesome and epic. But it is an interesting talking point. Now, I don't care if you choose like personal choice. I don't care who you have sex with. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you eat carrot cake. Don't care what you do. But in the same token, when people talk and complain and do whatever, I know that you could have a better life by not doing that because you're showing that you are eating 3 to 4 times the amount of food that you should be going into your body to create the amount of extra mass on your physique. It's extra energy that is not being used, and you're putting either wrong stuff. So either number one, you're not educated enough to know what you're doing. Number two, you don't care. You really like food. Food is sex to you. I don't know.
And this is the painting with the big brush thing, so I'd like to split it at least a little bit more narrow. For what you're talking about, it totally makes 100% sense to me for, for those people that are like, I'm fat, I'm just going to always be fat and do whatever, right? But like I said, for the other people that you're sloppily, like I've met some people in the 600-pound range that are like, don't care. This is my shit. Some people put heroin in their arm. This is how I'm going. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a junkie under a building heating up a spoon. I'm a tech designer or a this or that, something to do with the computer, and I want my food fed to me until I die. That, neurologically speaking, it's no different than drugs or anything else. So that's why I'm saying for anything, like, for a policy to be put in place, I don't understand it. But this weird idea that, like, hey, I'm fat, special accommodations, you treat me. That's like me going, hey, guys, I'm an alcoholic, so you guys really need to let me at the front of the line because if I get upset, that's a trigger for me to drink, and, we don't want that happening because I got a thing.
How about I got PTSD? Why don't I get to go to the front, right? How about, I just might not be able to get along with if you guys just say the wrong thing or you all think I'm crazy or whatever. Or how about we're Irish? You just get to go to the front.
Probably because the law's in place because you got to go to the VA and it's and if you've ever been in there, I'm sure you have because derp. Yes. So it's not great, right? Not a great establishment. Not a whole lot of
the one
focus
I
and
happen
care.
to go to, I will give credit where credit's due. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, is top 5% of VA hospitals in the whole entire country. It's a very beautiful place.
And so that one's there, but if
it's a weird. Now, generally everything we do, right? It's a bachelor pad. If we're going to advise anyone, any guys out there, you're sitting around, you're watching this and whatever, right? Just like the Nicole Arbor thing. Look, if you want to enjoy life better and you want to be seen more, appeasing to the eye by the opposite sex, if you're that, heavy and out of shape and whatever, do something, right? I think anyone, with our age and us aging, to go to the gym and be in better shape and whatever, you have a better life. There's too much information and too much knowledge out there for us to just go, well, I'm heavy and I'm going to sit and just keep putting on 10 to 15 pounds every year until you're...
Like he said, I'm proud.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd like to volunteer for Reverend Blazer. Remember the street epistemology thing with the GoPro thing? I'd like to ask people what they know about nutrition because I honestly, and maybe it's just my cynicism, I think people are dumber than you're giving them credit for. Like, I honestly, if you were to ask people, like, hey, how many calories are in this? Or how many calories is this? Do you understand?
How many calories are in a pound?
Well, I mean,
3,600.
If it's fat.
A pound is a pound.
There's a different amount of calories in fat than there is carb. 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 7 calories.
Fat and a pound of feathers is a pound.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's not the same because because a certain amount of weight of carbs is less efficient than fat. So you're only going to get. So if I had a pound of carbs, okay, let's just for mathematical sake, let's just pretend 1,000 carbs is a pound. Okay,
correct.
So if I've got 1,000 carbs, okay, I've got 4,000 calories.
Correct.
Okay, if we switch to fat, 1 pound is now 7,000 calories. So it's not the same way. There's different metrics, but. Anyway, so if you were to ask people about what they know about it, so most people, they don't know it, of like, hey, how many calories does it take to burn off, and where you're going? Where you're going from general carbs, but still, the point of like, do you know how many calories are in this? How many, like, how long do you walk?
I guarantee the percentile will be 36 to 38% that has a generalized knowledge. And even the generalized knowledge, okay, how long, if you ate this and whatever, how much moderate exercise would it take to burn it off, right? Now, we know because we've either lifted weights, played sports, and done whatever. I remember being in my 20s, and I'm at work, and I'm like, man, I'm busting my hump all day at Ford Motor Company, and I'm running around. Well, not running around, but I'm moving at a constant rate. Your heart rate being up to an acceptable level for you to properly burn, to burn calories versus generalized walking. I would be on my feet for 9-10 hours a day, and I'm like, I'm eating this and whatever, and I can't drop a pound. But of course, all it made me do was go, okay, boom, boom, boom. Let me go look. Let me figure out why and how I'm not. And then, okay, I either need to take in less calories, and some people do not have the willpower. A lot like, we're sitting in a vapor shop, right? We help people quit smoking on a regular basis. Somebody can come in and say they want to quit smoking. You can give 2 people the same apparatus and the same nicotine. They had all the same precursors to set them, for us to advise them in a way. And the final equation is their willpower.
So let me tie in real quick before I forget this, because this ties into right what you were saying. Give credit where all credit is due. The 3,600 calories, that's what you need to burn to lose a pound.
Of fat.
Of fat. My fault.
Yes.
So now we're
Right.
They're all in the same ballpark.
But seeing
Like I
that
said,
same.
listen, I didn't want to get that for anybody. Just general knowledge of like, hey, what about diets? Because the average person only knows the weird diet crazes that come in, and they've seen all of them that have come and gone and failed, and they just assume
grapefruit diet.
that nutrition is bullshit, and they've given up.
The grapefruit diet.
The grapefruit.
The acai diet. Take 5 grams of acai.
Well, and think about it. If you want to lose a pound,
carbs or-
if you want to lose a pound a day and whatever, well, not even, but you restrict your caloric intake to a point. So you can do it by two things. You can still eat the same amount, and you can go run for like 4 hours, right? Just go run around. Or you can restrict your caloric intake to a point to where you're not taking in that food. Your body will go, okay, we need to take and break down fat and
Anyone
whatever.
that's ever ran on one of the new treadmills, remember you like when the first you do the 30
love
minutes and you see the calories. Like that Snickers bar is 400 calories.
Yep.
You run for an hour and you got like 215. That alone.
But you get on a Stairmaster for 5 minutes and you got the same amount.
Right.
Different exercise, heart rate goes
But
up
my
higher.
main point is the average person doesn't link that when they look at that Snickers bar. If they see 400 calories, if I was to ask you, hey,
Right.
here's a Snickers bar, how much would you have to run at, or how long would you have to walk, set it at a normal pace, 2 miles an hour, to burn off this Snickers bar? I guarantee you the average person would be a fraction of it because you were interested in muscle. You learned about your digestive and nutrition.
Well, plus I'm on a treadmill 3 or 4 times a week. I actually see
Right, but in your
you're
life,
not
you took an
accomplishing
interest in
yeah,
physique.
true.
You took an interest in it, so you learned about it. But the average person's like, I'm fat, my parents are fat, I don't know what happens, give me another pizza. I think that's more of it. I don't think it's as much of a condemnable position in the sense of ignorance. Because if let's just say tomorrow quantum physics made the world go round, I'm like, oh my god, you even know what a positron is? This guy right here.
I don't.
You
But
know?
here's another thought. What if tomorrow everyone had to go through boot camp? Ha! There would be a great way to lose weight.
Well, more than likely, the grid would go out, but they're going to live longer than you are.
I would
Nutrition.
tell
They
you,
got that stored energy
let
in
me just tell you what
apocalyptic
they do in
terms.
boot camp. Because when you go through, it goes right back to your caloric intake, right? When you come through, and I'm just using the Marine Corps because I'm a Marine as an example. So there's double rats and there's half rats. So if you're a skinny dude, you get double rations, double rats. If you're by all rights to them normal, you get normal rats.
Same thing
And
in
if
jail.
you're fat, you get half rats. That's right. They give you half the food. They work you out just as much.
What's
So-
your name, fat body?
Exactly. What's your name, fat body? Your ass looks like about 175 pounds of chewed bubblegum. Right?
Private pile.
Get off my obstacle. You
Yeah,
fat
and
fucking
it,
slimy
look,
walrus looking piece of shit.
it's science. I'm not a scientist. I hang out with Blazer. He's the closest thing I got. But it
we
is
all look
it
the
is
same
a thing
when we
that
come out.
and look, regardless of the science of it, you have to understand that there's a better way to go through life and a healthier way to go through life. Because when they said made a joke about plus size, well that plus size or whatever that plus size or plus meal is plus diabetes, plus heart disease, plus whatever, right? And coming from a good place that's saying, look, it's not friggin' healthy. Do something with yourself, right? Not only aesthetics, because looks like I could drop a bunch of weight. I'm still going to look like me. I'm still an odd fellow, right? But I'm going to look better. And heaven forbid, maybe somebody who likes the way the body looks and whatever, they can get butterface or a bag
ask
over
a
the head or
question?
whatever it is.
I have a question. And this question is going to be a patriotic question. I'm sure there's a lot of fat people, especially in the South, that if I said, hey, are you patriotic? If somebody invaded this country right now, would you pick up a weapon and fight for your country? I'm pretty sure they'd all say yes. My question is, could you really do it effectively? Who do you think's going to get whacked first, shot first? Someone who can't move, who's an easy target. You know who lives? The people that can move and bob and weave. I mean, just think about it as a bare...
Unless it's an EMP and we knocked out our electrical grid, in which
That
case
could be.
all the food goes bad, and now we've got
But that
shadows
was-
will survive. Shadows will rule.
Yeah,
the
my
world.
dog will
Right.
live forever.
Right? But
doesn't
still,
move because
I
he's
would
a
hide
portly
behind
one.
your shadow.
You have to run around in circles. You
I
will be
would
out of
just-
energy in no time.
You're wrong.
You have
I
to
would just
a
be behind your
hunter-gatherer.
shadow.
You can't even fight. You have to just run around and gather food because you spend
right.
too much energy.
All right. Well, speaking of, we've gone into.
Guess who'd be at my house for food, though?
I'll kill myself. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Which is probably one of the truest statements Blazer will make today.
Well, Jake and I will have meat day while you kill yourself.
That's right. Well, we were going into story time, and if you've seen some of the story times,
me a
and
story,
I've pre-apologized to every female. I don't know why, but we have a fair amount of female listeners, and it's kind of freaking me out. And it's interesting because we're very sexualized and sexually driven show. We talk about
This is
sex,
where I should probably take my
dating,
company shirt
relationships. That was me trying to tell you to shut up and stop talking while I'm talking. You got to get it. talking about sex, dating, relationships, and whatever, I have a lot of females that come through here, and they, radio, mics, and podcasting. And these are in a nice community, and they listen, and I'm like, maybe I don't know if you want to listen to this 100%. Like, some of this stuff is not normal. We've talked about the hashtag the smell, right, where we had, odorous issues with the young ladies. We've had the condom conversation with the taking the condom and smacking AP in the face with the condom, which I kind of forgot that story.
I missed that one.
Yeah, you should listen to it on the right. That's what I sent you today.
Oh, yeah.
It was in there.
Good failure, Jay.
So I'm kind of freaked out that there are female listeners or whatever. The gentleman from Atlanta who is in the peanut gallery with a couple others today, as we got through some of these conversations, he kind of told me as we were having the conversations, I penned myself as being vanilla. I'm vanilla sexually. In my overall, like, if I'm having a one-on-one relationship with someone, it's kind of vanilla. I'm not a furry. I'm not, breaking out whips and chains. I'm not into, all those things or whatever. It's pretty much normal, except maybe I do like some of the porn stuff with the finish. Huh?
What is a furry?
You don't know what a furry is?
What is a furry?
They're almost like Comic-Con
Oh, they dress up like animals. I get it.
And they're the same in that same realm, but they'll dress up in costumes. Entourage, when Johnny Drama and
they did a CSI on that.
yeah,
CSI.
It's a thing. So there's a lot of weird things that would be called freaky or whatever. Tim the Freak, he's freaky. He's got you.
Creepy.
You're freaky, right? I know more about you than you ever need to know. There's other people that go outside the norms. Now the gentleman, as he
eccentric.
Yeah, there you go. Well, as he was like, no, you're freaky. Half the stories you've told me about whatever, that's freaky shit. And I went, yeah, but I'm not initiating the freaky. And he went, no, but you're okay with the freaky. Like, you will do it even though you didn't initiate it. Like any number of the Molly. I don't know if you feel comfortable with the Molly conversation, but the Molly, right? This conversation or anything. Here's one thing I should probably, full disclosure, right? This is how I live my life. I've had sexual relations with almost every, like, in the same room with all of my friends at one time or another, except for Blazer, because I'm a little bit freaked out. I don't know what I think he's hiding something.
Yeah.
Okay?
He has the tail.
He has a tail. He's like Shallow Hal.
I gotta see it.
So
no, I gotta see it.
No.
So and that was a thing, right? When you look at your sexuality, and I didn't realize it until all my customers that come through, and a bunch of ladies in a very nice affluent neighborhood that come through, and I try and be as professional. Hi, how are you? Oh, you look very nice today, and whatever. I'm thinking weird stuff in my brain, right? If you're attractive and hot and whatever, I'm thinking, oh, you're attractive and hot. But yes, ma'am, how can I help you? You need a coil, right? Anything I do, but now that they're getting a bird's eye view into what I do, what Blazer does, what you do, any of these things, I'm like, oh, but I think they're oddly intrigued by it. It's weird because they came in and went, oh, I listened to the podcast, and they had a sparkle in their eye, and I went,
You told me.
I went, no, I did apologize ahead of time, right? I'm sorry. No, I liked it. That's actually kind of, and like giddy, and I'm like, that's weird. I expect my 20-year-olds who go, oh my God, I can't believe you banged a midget in a hot tub, which we should probably get into this evening. Because I did preface it with don't be a mo and the olive oil. Yeah. It's out there in the universe.
It's up to deck.
You banged a midget?
No, okay. All right. Let's get into
I'm
story time.
I'm all ears, dude.
Okay. Yeah. So
you never heard it.
Here's the deal. We're in Texas. We're living in Denton, UNT College, Texas Women's University, huge college campus, whatever. Travis has infiltrated all the bar, working at Best Buy, big grouping of people.
I was doing, like, I guess at this point by day, doing beverage, selling Nesquik and all those things. And there was a new roommate moving in. It was a chick. We'll call her Jay. And so Jay moved in, and the night that she was supposed to move in, we set up a house party. Like, hey, welcome to the house. We got shit canned a bunch and whatever. And I just infiltrated. I started working at Best Buy on the side because they gave cost plus 10% discounts. So a lot of cool stuff. And so I was working with them, and then like they all went out to the bar. Like everyone, like all 50 employees, all went out to the bar like 3 or 4 times a week. Most of them only went once or twice, but 4 nights a week. A lot of the employees were going. I was there every one. I never missed one. So and then we would start drinking back at the house. And
Well, we wind up at JR Pockets, our
well,
little.
that's what I was getting to. So we go. So we're doing this thing. She's supposed to be moving in, and then she calls me. She's like, "Hey, I got food poisoning or something like that. Basically, I'm not gonna be able to make it." And a lot of people already showed up, and we're walking in, and this midget is walking out as we walk into JR Pockets, a billiards pool
Male or
bar in
female?
Denton. I mean,
It's a legit question.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, I was gonna say, how? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so female midget's walking out, wobbling out, and I didn't recognize or know her at the time, and that'll come into play a little bit later. But I was like, oh my god, we were already pre-gaming at the house. I've got 7 to 10 shots, which is about the usual before I go out to the bar, or was at this point. I worked at a bar. It's off. So we show it, and then she's walking out, and I went, hey, where are you going? No. Turn on. Oh, well, my friend was going to show up, and then she's sick, and she's like,
Where are you going, little lady?
No,
little
he did
lady.
not.
That's right. I said, yes, I did.
I'll drink water, little lady.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Here
where are
we
you
go.
going, little lady? She's like, well, my friend was going to do the thing. I was like, oh, you're Jordan's friend. That's the house she's moving into, whatever. How about you stay and have a drink? No, I should go. Nah, we're having a shot.
Stop. Go with your first instinct, little lady.
And it was, I didn't really pick her up and bring her to the bar, but it was almost the same thing. It was like, no, you're going, we're drinking, you're having fun at the bar. I was like, Jake, there's a midget, high five, cool, we're drinking with a midget. And so we're drinking at the bar and things go on, and I don't remember what happened at the bar.
I remember what happened at the bar, you scum knuckle.
I remember the hot tub. I just remember the bar.
I know. We're at the bar. This is how all the shenanigans stuff started. You pulled a Tristan on me. You went, hey,
That's a good one.
Jake, tell him about the Hagen story. Tell him about the olive oil stuff.
No, the olive oil was in the hot tub. I told you about that in there. With the bar, but we got really shithoused at the bar. Went
You
back to the
made
house,
me
hot
tell
tub.
my most horrible. Now,
In the
ironically,
hot tub, let me then that's what you told, because we went back and whatever happened in the bar, we drank a lot. Went back to the house and drinking games didn't happen. We all got in the hot tub. There was like an 8-person hot tub there, probably 6-7 people.
Room for
in
8.5.
And yeah, so we were in there, and then I made Jake tell the Hagen story about whenever we're in the hot tub doing it. And at the time, it's the corners were all the awesome seats. The
look,
seats in the middle.
you forget the bar. You Tristan me and made me tell story 1, and then I try and get away, right? Because I don't know these people. Then, ha.
That
this
night
and
our
that.
GM left.
Tell
I was
him-
trying to prep you to be the new GM for a corporate company.
Tell him to tell another one, and I'm like, I don't know these people. Like, I don't want to give them all my creepiness, which ironically now all we do is go, hey, let me tell you about the creepiness. But I don't know these people. I could get laid. I could not. I always think the factor in, and not the midget, right? Because I had already predisposed that I
He's
was not
Captain
going
Factor
to.
in.
So I thought about this. So you got me like 4 stories in at the bar. Now I'm the clown. Dance for me, clown. Make me a fucking bicycle. Whatever. Yeah, make me a
clown.
bicycle out of fucking balloons. So you make me tell all this. Now we go back to the house and we're in the hot tub and whatever. So I'm trying. Ironically, you wouldn't think Jake trying to bite his tongue, but I just went, balls, I don't know these people. And there were some other chicks, like random people, and I'm like, fuck.
L and
Yeah, there were other ones.
Did he
so,
say elf? There's
So
an elf?
L first letter of everyone's name.
so we get back to the house in the hot tub.
So he
Midget
tells
and
the Mo story, and the midget is absurdly offended by the olive oil part. Not the double, the olive oil.
Not the good place, bad place. It was the olive oil used as a
The
lubricant.
olive oil used as lube was the most offensive thing that she could find. Like, she was disturbed. Like, no, she was like, wow, oh my God, that is
so
what I
who
can't believe.
poured olive oil on this chick where she's got such a horrific memory of
Well,
olive
no one
oil?
before this point.
No one before this point,
Oh,
but the night is
no.
early.
Oh no!
All right. So hold on. We gotta get through the
Why
story.
do I
No,
see it
we're gonna
based-
stop. We're gonna stop questions or whatever. We gotta go through the story. Story time is telling story. Laughter allowed.
So we're in the hot tub. We're drinking. He tells the story. She's offended by the olive oil. I'm like, really? The olive oil? That's where it's going? And we're bantering back and forth, and something happens, and I'm out of beer, as it happens sometimes. And she's like, oh, do you want a beer? And I was like, yeah, go get me a beer. There's a midget going to go get me beer.
All right.
That's
Now hold
awesome.
on. Now
Okay,
pause. Now pause. So if we had different cams, my time in the hot tub is there's a little midget, and she's shitting. She's sitting in between Travis and I. We've got JV and a couple other
I was
people in
going
the
to
corner.
the next day of the phone call. That's what I was going to lay it out
Right,
and go out of order.
but here I'm sitting in the hot tub, and look, I get it. There's a midget in the hot tub. By all intents and purposes, the gentleman from Atlanta went, "Tell me you banged the midget. Who doesn't want to bang a midget in the hot tub?" And I went, "This guy." right?
I didn't want to either.
Yeah,
tricked me into it.
I know I did. I did.
No, he
trick
tricked
you
me into it.
So
He has those type of powers.
we're sitting there, and the little person, she's so little that you can't even. The water's like
So you're
up
worried
to
about her drowning.
No, stop talking. So she's sitting into the water up to her neck, right? So you can't see what her little arms and her little shoulders are doing, right? We've got all 3 pumps on. They're bubbly water. She puts her hand on my thigh, right? So she puts her hand on my thigh, and I went, oh. And I was like, maybe she just misplaced it. Maybe she can't feel or whatever. I don't know. Little midget arms. Puts her hand on my thigh. And I went, oh, she's a little midget. She put her hand on my thigh. I don't want to make her feel horrible by not, so I'm going to reciprocate and whatever. So underneath the water, I put my hand on her little thick midget thigh, right? So I put my hand on her thigh. Sorry, little people. We'll take your emails and, hate mail later.
If you can type it out fast.
So, yeah, that's right. So I put my hand on her thigh, right? Figuring I don't want her to be, I don't have any intentions of doing this, and I have reasons for it. Well, as I do that, as soon as I touched her thigh, her hand went directly on my package. And kind of nimbly, like, through the waistband and was grabbing naked cack, right? So she's got a hand on naked cack. And I'm like, oh, this is happening. I didn't see this happening. Now, in my mind, I've been drinking a lot. I can't drink like these guys. These guys are much better at it than me. I'm immediately going, I can't, at my accelerated age, I cannot mentally, because I'm up in my head. I'm a lot like Eddie Murphy in Boomerang, right? If I see the weird foot or the pinky toe, something will throw me off, and I'm already thrown off by the midget thing. If I was 20, done, story time. Like, I'll take a Viagra and put it in as a suppository to get ready for this.
So she goes in and grabs me a beer, and I ask Jake, I'm like, hey, she's getting a beer. Should I bang the midget? She's been tugging me off. I didn't know. I couldn't see the other elbow. I didn't find out this until the next day. And I was like, she's been tugging me off. And Jake goes, oh, yeah, you should do it. On my grandfather's deathbed, he said, boy, there's never going to be a woman you slept with you're going to feel bad about on your deathbed. I'd like to do it, but, man, she seems to be into you. So, I mean, man, if I could, I would. But, yeah, no, she's into you, so you need to make that happen.
Grandfather shit at you, huh?
Yeah, no, like, I'm doing this for his grandfather. Like,
I was totally deflecting. Like, yep, you should totally do this. This is a thing. You should bang the midget. Now, mind you.
One quick question.
Hold on, JV, my buddy JV, one of our great JV, we had him call in. He was passed out in the hot tub while some of this happened. Okay, the hot tub is immediately outside my master bedroom window.
Okay.
So the people on my side and then JV in the corner can watch right through the master bedroom
Well,
window.
my question goes to your kitchen scenario just now. Did he say that Midget was jerking you off as well?
Yeah, she was ski poling. She was ski poling.
And that's why when I tell the story, for one, it's very good because I get into the next day phone call and whatever. But
I was going to reveal that in the next day phone call. Whenever I found out about it outside of a gas station, trying to sell them on a whole new cooler of product, that was great. She was jerking you off too. Hold on. Yeah, Nesquik Welch's. I got it. She was jerking you off too.
Well, and the way I normally tell this story, which gets quite a few laughs and whatever, is she's jerking me off or whatever. This and this. When she got up and went to go get whatever, I'm like, cool, she's gone. You come in like a saving grace and go, dude, I think I might have to bang the midget tonight. And I was like, yeah, you don't say. How come? She's been jerking me off under the water for the last 10 minutes. And I'm like, the little bugger's like ski pulling, but nobody could see because fucking head, all you could see is her head barely staying above fucking drowning level.
That's how when she was treading water.
Yeah. So maybe it was for stability. I don't know. Maybe, she's not as buoyant as she looked.
But anyway, so in that short conversation, Jake convinces me it's a noble act for the Dempsey name.
She's not buoyant.
From generations on past. And so, he's like, all right, go to it. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bang the midget. I'm going to do this. All right, good. And then, he goes up to bed.
I'm leaving. I'm getting as far away from the situation as possible.
And JV is still passed out in that corner of the hot tub. We've forgotten about him. Everyone else has got up and left. JV is still in the corner.
That's why he's not varsity.
Facing my master bedroom window. And so we start making out in weird midget prep. I could do a stool, But and then all of a sudden, no condom. And so we barrage into Jake's room while he's sleeping
and I'm
in
thinking,
his bed.
I got out of this.
Crawl over him to get a condom because midget babies are probably not the best thing for my life at this point or ever.
You should have made her crawl over him.
That was a weird thing. Anyway, we'll expand on it for anyone horrible enough to want to ask those questions. But so got the condom and ran back, and everything that any normal or slightly off person would have thought to have wanted to do. I mean, she was airtight for the night. We played the Ring Around the Rosie. And so I played all the different things. I tried to do the spin. Didn't work. She was a little more stumpy than what you would probably originally imagine in your head. The spin thing didn't work. But anyway, so the regulation for that, I get, wasted because I'm going to bang a midget, right? And I do it, and so we go through the motions, and I all the weird stuff that you want to try out and do. And it turns out it's very much like a normal human being. And I say that expecting their stuff. But it's very much like a real human being, except it's stumpy and whatever. With the hands, like you wanna feel like if you're feeling down about yourself, if your boss gets onto you, let a midget jerk you off for a minute. That's empowering.
That'll bring you back to reality.
Yeah, it's good reality, sure. Empowering anyway. And so this thing happens, and we go down, and I'm drinking the whole process. Like I literally, she's creeped out by the olive oil, right? I went out to the kitchen to get a beer and a drink or something. I don't know if she was involved in that part or not. So I get it, and I brought the olive oil and threw it in the top drawer of my dresser, which sits like right at mattress level. I didn't tell her about the olive oil at first, but as soon as I realized that was her thing, she was so freaked out by it that I was like, that has to happen. So we're going, and so she's in the very start of it, she's blowing me, and we're going for the bed, and she's like, "Oh, you ready?" So I pick her and put her on the bed like a normal woman. And I didn't want to try the midget stuff and figure out what we're going. Put her on the bed, and I swear to God, it was the funniest thing. I reached and pulled out the drawer right to my right side with the olive oil, and she went, "Oh no," and I went, "Pop! It's in there now," and we went to town. And she since has told me, because there was a few more encounters, she gave me roadhead at one point while driving the Armada. Also was topless hanging out she was topless hanging out my sunroof while driving home at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's fucking fantastic.
No, it became problematic because
she showed up for beer pong.
Bang a midget once.
I'm getting to the part where they come back. But hold on,
thing.
Here's where it ties in. So anyway, this thing goes on. My buddy JV wakes up somewhere in the middle, right? Because I'm having fun with it, as anyone would. It's a midget. Like, see how it works, My next thing is a deaf person. I want to see what sounds they make. Are they really close to realistic ones, or is there a natural different one? That's my next study.
But I love you, dude. You make me feel normal.
I got the midget thing. And my buddy JV, he had work the next day at 8 a.m. I had work at 10 a.m. And something happened with his keys. We got to switch up, so I had to take his shift. He had to take mine. And I kind of forgot that we'd switch up because I was still hammered at 8 a.m.
No.
And he gets back, or I have to cover his shift at work, and I'm there, and my supervisor goes, "Man, what the fuck did you do last night?" I'm thinking he already told him because the supervisor was a buddy of mine. He referred to Jake as something weird, like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "You're the most intimidating person I've ever met." My supervisor goes, he's like, "Dude, what did you do last night?" I was like, "God damn it," JV told her. It turns out she worked there. So I let the beans. I was like, "Yeah, I banged a midget." This stuff happened because every weekend it was something stupid. I did the Irish jig on top of the bar. Just anything retarded that happens in the weekend. But he came at me in a way like he already heard it from JV. Like JV, and I'm like, "You motherfucker!" I didn't even talk to him about it. And I'm like, "You told him?" And he's like, "No, no one told me. I was just asking what you did this weekend." So I ratted on myself.
On himself.
Everything goes everywhere, and JV gets there, and people are like, "Oh, did you hear about it?" I saw it. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It was like a train wreck. I couldn't turn away. I was so disgusted.
Sitting in the hot tub, drinking a beer, looking in the window, going, "Oh my God, what's happening?"
So it turns out he was there for a couple hours. He was around for a while, for a lot of my day. As he re-described it to me, I was like, "Oh my God, I did." Like, it's, a lot. As she was getting bastered, I was getting plastered. And, every time, re-squirt for you, re-squirt for me. Let's keep going. You got to keep the machines running. And so I was pretty familiar, but a lot of what I remember by it was from his perspective from out the window. So, yeah, I banged the midget, and she came back for a beer pong thing or two. Her and Jordan ended up being best friends afterwards.
The very next day.
It became very odd and weird because it was a thing, right? The one-time thing was interesting. Now, in my defense, right, where, the gentleman asked me, "Why didn't you? Why wouldn't everyone wants to bang?" And I went, no. I'm like 36 or 38 years old at the time, right? So I'm old as balls. I've been drinking all night. I'm in a hot tub, and I'm developing an Eddie Murphy, like, way up in my head thing, right? So if something's off, the last thing I need is this pint-sized fucking midget walking around University of North Texas with thousands of fucking females talking shit.
And
like
you just moved in.
And I just moved there, and I was like, this can't be that's like dodging a fight. Like, I'll wait for a while. I need to train a little bit more. Because I need this little pint-sized son of a bitch walking around going, oh yeah, Mr. fucking Big Talker over there with all the stories can't fuck for shit, right? Like, I need a midget wandering around talking about...
busting your balls.
Because, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I will lose the chub in mid whatever if the little hands are coming up and they're hitting me and whatever, and I go to pin the arms back or whatever.
Part. Before I prelude into it, when I explained hours, I mean that for a reason. You had brought back those samples from a trade show, the Black
pills.
Ant and
Yeah,
Underlord, and Nathan had just picked me up one because we were starting to sell dick pills.
Underlord?
Yeah. It's
dude, this
weird Japanese dick pill.
I like it. Can I have it?
dark web orient shit.
Yeah,
and
it's just illegal in like all the world now, but so like in that boom,
That
so I
means it
had them,
works.
and so I wasn't sure, and that was part of my thing too. So I took 3 of them, just assuming, because I've had a lot. Like a lot of them are shit, you know. So I'm
Yeah,
just
he
like, hey,
ODs on over-the-counter dick pills
dude,
while banging
it
a
almost
midget.
hurt the whole time. That's why I couldn't cut. It was seriously like if you took a rubber
Good
band.
Lord, my dick's coming out of its skin, man.
If you took a rubber band and wrapped it around 497 times, that's
wouldn't
what
have
it
felt
felt
it.
like. There's so much pressure. Like it was like I felt nothing but pressure, which is why I was just trying to experiment at that point. It was kind of like a kid that learns how to use a hammer of just breaking shit, of just It almost
Breaking
hurt.
shit with the velvet hammer.
Yeah, it just having to just.
No, over-the-counter dick pills, dude. The Magnum and the
But anyway,
the
long
Chronic
story
King were
short, they
great.
all 3 worked. All of them were good. That's never happened.
witch is
Everyone
gonna
got a
get it
sample
tonight.
pack. It was like what? How many of them in the Vegas things? Like
were
one-
just salt pills or whatever.
Yeah, like so many of them. So I took all 3. They all worked. They all 3 were brands we carried at some point, and it hurt.
Dude, what a company, man.
Yeah. And look, everyone, guys are guys. So if we have a conversation about, would you bang a midget? I'd bang a midget right here in front of all of you. I'd eat Chinese food off her back, whatever. It's because we have Chinese food next door. But whatever. Everyone says that. I was beginning to know my level. Now, if I would have had I wasn't willing to bet that those. I really was afraid that I would get creeped out in the process,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get shit talked by if you do something well, that shit talking goes well and is positive, right?
Yeah.
So people will talk about it and it will be great. And other girls will talk about it and they will do X, Y, and Z, and you can get extra stuff and I've had this talk with females. I was like, look, guys and shop talk and whatever, we do stuff. And they're like, no, girls are worse. The stuff we talk about. So I learned that a long time ago. If I'm doing whatever, it needs to be good. Half of the point is I want to get to the point where I finish, right? I want to come on something. But in the meantime, I have to do it well enough and take her overall pleasure into account because it will work as a referral. It's almost like business, right? You've got a good business referral and, you do whatever. So that was my reasoning for. Now, the creepy part was this guy, days after, right? Days
You could have
after.
stopped at this guy.
No, days after, we're like, hey, people over, and it was very Bender-ish, right? It was like 3 or 4 nights in a row, people back and partying. I come downstairs because I'm an adult. I'm trying to get up for work in the morning. Beer pong and 12 people running around.
like Groundhog's Day.
Here's Travis playing beer pong with one arm around the midget and doing whatever, getting her to flash. And he's like caressing her and hugging her, which I pull one or two of the roommates over and I go, dude, we might need to talk to him. Like, if he keeps banging, he's gonna have a midget baby. And I know it doesn't necessarily work that way. Midgets can have fucking big babies. Big people can have midget babies.
It's a horrible. Just my baby alone, burn it.
Yeah, but dude, if you had a midget baby, it would almost like be making a human Annabelle, right? Like if you had a little midget blazer baby, right? It would be like a Hush Bassett, which wouldn't have been the worst thing, right? Like combining 2 things together, like a full size blazer head on a little midget baby.
Oh god.
Not the worst thing, but I
wobblehead.
thought better, like, we need to talk to him. And it was night 1. We said something. He was like, no, it's fine, dude. I'm just having fun. The next night, whatever. And, like, having him say nice, like, he's not a nice person.
He
Definitely
was
not.
falling in love.
He was, like, I
He
don't
found
know.
something. He just
Midget vagina may be magical, right? It could be
It's
like
like a
fairy
unicorn.
dust. Could be like Suki on fucking True Blood.
yeah, could be.
That fairy blood is amazing. I don't know.
You fail to recognize. Like, after all this time, I am ashamed that you don't recognize like the different blazers that arise without different drinking levels.
That's
I will
what he's
fully admit
ashamed.
that level of like drinking the woo. Whenever we were doing the Best Buy, drinking party things. That one really enjoyed her company because every time she was there, I was drunk and there were boobs and sex and weird
She had
stuff.
good boobs.
I didn't think
even
had good
JV,
boobs.
even JV and I talked about it, and we went.
She's got nice.
He's got nice boobs. Could you pull it off with just the boobs? And I was like, I don't know. Now that I've seen the boobs, I
You
feel
are a
a little
boob
more.
guy.
I would feel a little more confident that I could go heavier into the boobs, but I
It's
still
weird
couldn't.
to adjust to from an angle, like of like looking at stuff. You know what I mean? Like where a normal torso's boobs are supposed to be. Like
Right,
your
and
head
they're
neck.
just-
You realize you have different neck muscles for
What
being a
if
midget and a regular person.
You
They
did
gotta
it like
tilt
a
down.
glory hole boob box, where it was just behind a black thing. You just come off on that.
Yo. So yeah, in the I don't know. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, but I'm past. If I was, unless it was like Bridget the Midget and Tucker Max or whatever, or unless it was like super quality little baby stripper midget, there was the black girl at Landing Strip.
I wasn't there that time.
You weren't there. Oh my god.
I would have banged it.
Oh no, I would have, and believe me, and she had a cute little name, like a cute little name or whatever it was. Dude, when I tell you, I went, oh my god, who is this? I'm gonna call. We should call Mike. We should phone a friend because
Let's
she needs
do
to
it.
come back one. She needs to come back one time. It was epic. I just happened to have other people around. I couldn't break loose, and
Phone the batar.
I try and have a little couth in my smutty, endeavors that I'm not going to get up and go run across. I also believe strippers should come to me. I shouldn't come to them. But yeah, so I think under the right circumstances, but boy oh boy, would it have to be just a shrinky-dink shrunken down version. But I can't have the dwarfism or the weird the things off and whatever.
No,
so
you can't do the wobble.
I really-
ones,
I
the-
really-
Like Leprechaun?
Okay. Now, since we do have you here, right? I was prompted by an individual who sent a text over today and went, "Oh, Dallas or Miller's Hot Tub?" And I went, "Dallas." And I went, "Haha." I went, "Oh my God, I've almost forgot about the Dallas story." Well, you were privy to Dallas. You were in Dallas. It was a horrible deal. We got extremely intoxicated. It was my brother's graduation. We went down there. It was y'all's first time in Texas or whatever, and we go
Didn't
down.
see JR.
Didn't see JR. We didn't take you to
Schwab.
South Fork Ranch or anything. We ran around Dallas. That's where you learned about Meals on Wheels, that they stopped street walking. And Texas and Dallas, Harry Hines area, has a very interesting thing that doesn't happen everywhere across the United States. They busted all the streetwalkers, right? Prostitution will not die, just so everyone knows, right? It's the oldest profession. It's been going on forever. The pimps would go to the auctions and buy the $300 vehicle with mixed match tires. Like one was like a square, you know what I mean? And it would clunk, clunk, clunk. They would pull up and cruise the Harry Hines Boulevard and Royal Lane and Walnut Hill. They would pull up next to you and they would be in bikinis and they would look like strippers. And they'd pull up next to you and honk the horn and go, "Hey, want a party?" We're driving back, right? It's the 3 or 4 of us in we're in a Blazer. We've got nice cars. We've got whatever. We got a rental car. So we're all good-looking dudes in good shape, and we're driving around. We get, "Hey, do you want a party?" My buddy elbows me and goes, "Dude, we got hot chicks in bikinis with whatever, sparklies
They're
or
trying to pick
whatever.
us up."
They're bedazzled, and they're asking us whatever. And, "Hey, do you want a party?" And it's like, "Yeah, for sure. Cool. You guys got money?" I think I'm driving, and I'm like, "Bitch, I got an expensive watch. We in a car better than whatever that thing is. Like that's a '79 Buick Opal, right, with a square wheel. Like how you guys are staying in this, and not flying out, I don't know." And they were like, "No, no, dummy.
We're hookers.
Do you have money?" And we went, "Oh." And we all looked at each other and went, "Ha ha." And I went, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that's a thing. They drive and they just drive around. They also go to strip clubs. When you're exiting a strip club, and some of the strip clubs are bring your own beer, stay open until 4 in the morning.
love that.
That is a thing.
God,
That was
When you
the coolest
leave-
thing ever.
And it doesn't matter if you're leaving eggs and legs like at the fair room. You're walking out or at 4 in the morning or 6 in the morning. They pull up and they're trying to, "Hey, you want a party?" and whatever. And you're like, "It is 6 in the morning. I should not even be alive at this moment." I don't know. What do you think? You think we should bang the chick in the in the Explorer? I don't know. So it's
I had a
a
breakup over legs and eggs, and I never even made it. I never made it. Carl and Andrew went.
oh yeah.
I never made it. There was weird. I had a class or some stupid thing inflicting in it, but I was trying to on one of the times, and that led to a fun breakup.
Legs and eggs. Like if you had the opposite, the option to go to, let's go to IHOP or let's go to Red Apple or let's go to whatever little Coney Island or let's go to a strip club where they have an exquisite bouquet or bank buffet of all the you had
sausage, pancakes, bacon.
Yeah, just everything. So you go there, and they're not serving alcohol. There's always a way around something, right? The bathroom attendant had some hidden hooch, and you could put your stuff underneath the table, and as long as the little tablecloth was long enough, as long as it was out of sight, you could still keep your alcohol. They broke all the rules. So you could go there, get some beers, flip the guy over there, and hey, you're military, I'll give you whatever, man, give me some beers. So it was great, but you would go there for breakfast via doing whatever, right? So it was an interesting thing. We drank, we partied, we did whatever. None of us checked our return flight, right? None of us checked our return flight. The numbers were inverted, like 11:36 or 1:38 or whatever.
We fucked up.
So yeah, we fucked up epically.
The hell you say?
So we go to the strip club on the way to the airport because I think I didn't discharge my weapon, and by my weapon, I mean the weapon, right? I didn't make a mess while I was there.
Was this the first time when we missed the flight?
No, this is where we're
really
fixing,
flying back.
No. This is
Right
where
before we're at the hotel.
This is where we're fixing to miss the flight. If you let me get to it, we haven't. If I didn't say we missed the flight, now you know we missed the flight. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for coming out. Squirrel. So McMakin. So as we're doing this, we go to the strip club, right? Because you were given a weapon to hold and stand and whatever, right? Outside and stand guard because we're in a horrible part of town. I somehow talked the stripper who lives in the No-Tell Motel right across the street. Now, mind you, we're banged up and it's like noon. So we're wasted. I talk her into doing some shenanigans. And she's like, well, I'm going on break. I'm working a double, so I'm going to go. If you want to go do shenanigans, let's go. You guys all come because you're like, dude, we're in a horrible strip club. Why are we here? We walk across and we go to the thing. You stand outside. You're like, I don't need to go in here. The other gentleman, and we will just call him the other gentleman comes in with me. And he goes, well, I'm here and you're out there. Here, take my weapon. Don't let anyone, come and get whatever, blah, blah. Had a concealed weapon permit, right? So he's out there, gives you said weapon, right? We're in there.
With instruction.
And out of all my friends, and I talked about this with the gentleman from Atlanta earlier, I went, I don't know why I've always had sex. If there's one girl and there's two of us, I don't initiate it, but whoever that other person is either tries to bring me in or tries to add themselves into the equation, right? My buddy's in there with me, and he goes, hey, so what about both of us? And we do it, and she was like, look, I mean, I'm doing this, but I'm not like that. Like, I kind of talked to him, we're going to do whatever. He did plead a good case that he didn't have any sex while he was in Texas, and he's from here, so he's going to have a good time. Don't know about you. And he went, oh, okay, I get it. You mind if I watch? And I went, I look and I go, what? And she went, yeah, I don't care. As long as you don't hop on the bed. And I went, so you're going to, and he was in all of his glory and glee. Like he had a bag of chips or she had chips. And he's like eating Sun Chips, sitting in the, it was like it has a couch and a little like dinette and whatever. So he's sitting there and watching. And I went, and ironically, as I try and say I'm vanilla and I'm not that freaky, that was somehow okay with me, right? We had the conversation. He was like, no, you're a freak.
Now, mind you, this gentleman eating chips, who apparently seems non-threatening, and handed me the weapon, gave me specific instruction. If we are in there any longer than 10 minutes, come in and
shooting. Oh, that's
two
right.
in her brain. Put
okay.
two in her brain.
So yeah,
right.
I did kind of forget that you were not only there to.
You were on a time clock.
Yeah, like you support the outside, stability of we're not in a good area. And also, if we don't come out of here, we don't know if somebody's hiding under the bed or whatever.
In 10 minutes.
You need to come in and get us. Okay, I forgot about the duality.
So now you have added pressure to perform in 10 minutes in front of said person.
Oh, no. I can come on demand, dude. I have 36 seconds. If I think properly and whatever, I'm good to go. So we're there. He's watching and eating chips. Like, almost like I feel like he's going to give up, like, the judge cards or whatever. Like, per what move and what's happening. So I'm doing whatever, and I'm trying to not pretend that my creepy buddy is watching me or whatever, because here's the deal. This is why I consider myself vanilla and not nearly as freaky as everyone else. I wouldn't have asked to sit and watch. I have no dog in this fight at this point. For whatever reason, he wanted to watch. So we do whatever. We finish. I make a mess on the young lady. High five. Thank you. This is going to somehow make a great story someday, and I feel much more, okay with my trip. So we get in the vehicle and we realize, and I think we thought we were on a time clock to catch the plane, and there could be somebody in there. So we get in the vehicle, we drive. We're only 30 minutes, 20 minutes away from the airport. We pull up. We didn't take any of the beer cans out. We didn't take any of the ice and water. The center console was filled with water and beer. We pull it up, flip the keys, get on the little tram thing, and go over to the airport. We get there, and as we get there, gentleman goes up and talks and whatever. He's got to check, weapon or something or whatever. So he's got to check, and they're like, "Oh, go run to the gate." So we tear off and run to the gate. We run to the gate. We tear off, O.J. Simpson style from the old O.J. Simpson stuff. We get to the gate, and the people at the gate go, "What are you talking about? That plane left like 20 minutes ago." We were like, "What kind of bullshit is that? They just made us run through the whole friggin' airport. That's stupid." So we come back, and we get there. The gentleman had a conversation with the people at the at the desk. They refunded. I don't know. He should have been a salesman.
He is a salesman.
That's right. So they refund. They give us plane tickets for tomorrow, right? They give us plane tickets for tomorrow. They then in turn give us a hotel room. They give us 2 rooms, so we got to bunk up, right? And so we go through this. We go to our hotel room.
By recollection, I think it was a corner suite because I remember looking at 2 views.
I wouldn't know because I wouldn't go to the suite with you because of what happened in the elevator. Now, again, with almost all of my best friends and people that have been so close and friendly, I've gotten into a fight with all of you at one time in my life, okay? I'm going to blame it all on y'all mostly because I'm the most rational of most of you, right? If we were going to put it up to a panel, I get it. I can see Blazer bit you, so you punched him in the face, right? That makes sense. Jay tried to tackle you, open field tackle you as you were walking into a trailer, south of Michigan Avenue, and I stutter step turned and planted you into.
It was pretty much like a Heisman move.
It was good.
It was awesome.
I've never got a clean hit on you. Why did you do? I'm like, why would you be doing it in the middle of the night?
Yeah,
I'm a jumpy son of a gun. I don't like to be snuck up on, and broke your collarbone, right? Got in trouble for that one for quite some time by your ex. So. We get into we're now laughing, like, ha ha ha, what are we going to do? I can't believe this happened, but hey, what a silver lining. We got a free hotel room and airline tickets and the whole 9. There's 4 of us, right? There's 4 of us, and we're standing in the, in the elevator. Oh no, you agreed to come here. We didn't go Molly, we didn't go do whatever, so I'm giving you a pass on that.
All right. Fair enough.
So my friend Jay, who had a better relationship at this time than any of us, right? She cooked, she made food, and did whatever, but he's a hard guy. He's a Marine, and he talks a real tough game. We get in the elevator, and he goes, and we're all kind of joking, laughing, like, I can't believe we got out of this. What are we going to do tonight, right? And what room? Who's going to bunk with who? We're having a normal conversation. He turns and looks, and he's frustrated and pissed like nobody's business. Turns to me, gets like nose to nose, like a drill sergeant, and goes, "You motherfucker, I don't fucking need this shit, fucking blah, blah, blah." And then screams, like, in a high-pitched, like, voice that he doesn't normally, "I miss my niecey."
Right.
And I went, "The fuck did you just say? God damn it, I've been here too long, I want to go home, I need sex, and I need fucking her home cooking, and I miss my niecey." And rah, and starts mother effing me. The niecey part you had me at hello. I was like, I've known you a long time. We had pacts. If we ever harm somebody in a way where, like, you go to Canada, I'll go to Mexico, we'll meet up in the fucking
We'll meet up in Ireland.
Virgin Islands, I don't know, but dude, you're my boy, and we fought millions of people, and we've done all kinds of crazy stuff, and you
I
just
calmed
fucking
down to like 3 minutes before we even got out of the elevator. I was calm.
Oh, of course you did, because I went, and you spit on me. You backed up and you spit, not on me, but like on my fucking shoes, or close to my shoes. And I went, "McMakin, I swear to God, you fucking unfuck your toner. We're gonna go at it in this fucking elevator. I don't want you fuck. Who are you? Who do you think you're talking to?" And he's still fucking like shaking, like frustrated-ish. And I went, "Dude, I don't know who you're talking to, but I will fucking fight you in this motherfucking thing." And I go, "Dude, shit is gonna go down. And the fact that you said I love Niecy, I automatically win. I will win this fucking fight because you're being a fucking vagina." And and the other two were like, "Hey, you guys calm down," or whatever. And I was like, "Fuck him." I go, "You fucking spit on me and you say that, I will knock your fucking teeth out. Who the fuck are you?" And he's, "Man, I can't deal with you." Somehow my jovial nature of, look at what we got free, did not suit well with him. The extra day was a bonus because I'm going out again. I think I've got $300 left. I'm going to try and get a blowy or a handy at the fucking We went to one of the northwestern highway ones, the Western. Yosemite Sam.
Oh, it's called Baby Dolls.
He got me. Yeah, we went to Baby Dolls.
I had a good time with that.
You had a good time after that, but I was not going into a room with you. I was like, I forget who I looked at it, Mo or whoever, and I was like, "You're bunking with me. Fuck that motherfucker, whatever." Yeah, and I went, I was like, you're messing with me. That dude, you can have him because I can't deal with that. Whatever. If he says it again, dude, it's on like Donkey Kong.
And I got stuck with said person who
walked around in
his underwear and socks looking like fucking risky business. Yeah, that's a whole nother factor.
That's
of
what you
evening.
get. You should
That's
have
right.
That may be the first time.
That was my punishment.
On planet Earth, that Nisi was actually fighting words. That may be the first time ever.
Possibly.
Well, dude, if you saw he couldn't hold his water of just Rah! And dude, it hit a pitch. Like it's like the Zohan, the noise, the tone.
That just goes to show how much when I'm in love with a woman, how much I love a woman.
Look, you were also a horrible person at that time also, but you did. And you had a better relationship because here I come back with this, and Amy and them were in New York, and I found out she had all the pictures and whatever, and it was the same time frame. They went to New York and whatever. So you've got a wife ready to cook for you and give you good freaky sex and whatever.
Well, you're getting gummy bears on your white Mustang.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm getting to. She's a horrible person. So
I'm reading "Don't Kill Yourself" books.
Okay, how about and just because I touched on it, I'm gonna try
86.
and whip through this real quick because it's one of my favorite. Yeah, go ahead. You're fine. We're at St. Patty's Day. And this is shortly after the trip to Texas, the whatever, this and that. Well, my girlfriend, 5-year relationship, 4-year, whatever it was at the time, she went to New York. She did mention, hey, had if this doesn't date the time, an actual roll of film, right? Like all the pictures and whatever. There were only 13 pictures in this little envelope. And I went, oh, New York pictures. And she was like, yeah, look at them. So I look at them. There's 13 exposures in there. And I went,
dude.
You do know they come in like 24, 36, or 32 or whatever. I was like, why do you have 13 pictures? And again, I don't really care. I kind of don't like being lied to. So I looked through, I'm like 13 pictures. I was like, what is this?
Were you married at that point?
No. We were 4 years.
I was going to say, if you're married, it does matter at that point because you're online for the $250,000 for that fuck trophy. Yeah, but you weren't married. So
no, not married. So, and I was kind of mad because she came back from New York with 13 pictures and kind of like really vague stories, and McMakin, who had, I love my Nisi, and he got home and he had like 7-course meal and weird creepy sex. She dressed up as like a little Bo Peep, and he was a sheep. I don't know what happened. All this weird stuff. So it's St. Patty's Day. So I just went, where are the rest of the pictures? Oh, Michelle took them because she was in them. And I went, oh, that's fine. So we get drunk. This was the first day where we started counting how much alcohol we drank. And we would drink 28 Jack and Cokes, and we would like high five each other. When we got to the 28, we'd tell the waitress or the wait staff or whatever to let us know, and we would drink 28 Jack and Cokes in a sitting.
I never knew that was a set number.
Yeah, that was, well, we ended up there a couple times, and then we went, that was a good drunk. 28, that's pretty crafty, right? There's a shot and a half in each one of these because we were in places we knew and they were pouring pretty good. That's a fair amount to drink in a night, right? Problematic and probably, going to give us serious health problems in the future. But as we're there at St. Patty's Day.
According to Jerry.
No, not according to my dad. He's obviously bionic when it comes to this. No. I only like the girls. So as we leave this, it's time to leave. You and your brother get into a fight because he said something about your mom and you threw the drink in his face.
That's right.
And did whatever. And my chick was like, it's probably time to go. The McMakins are about to fight. And I went, yeah, that's brother fight.
Don't get the brothers.
I'm friends and I love both of them. Don't really know who I'm going to fare with, right? I'm still kind of upset about the Nisi bullshit, so I might have to go with the little brother. And he's the little brother. No, actually, I will.
Mother.
So that hasn't stopped the whole rumbling of years of whatever. But yeah, so you guys, and it was worthy. You weren't out of sorts or whatever. But I figured it was time to go. So me, the Amy, my ex, and her friend Amy, right? The tall, the big hands, big clit.
Big hands, big clit.
Big hands, big clit. That's a correlation that Jay made a long time ago. It really freaked them out. They all kind of did this and went in the bathroom like, I don't know how the biggest. How big is
her
yours?
a complex from hell.
That's right. So as we go through, we leave, we get in the car. So I'm in the back. I let the two girls sit in the front. So I'm sitting there, and all these vehicles had that little where you could put like maps or little
Oh, the back seat pocket.
The back seat pocket, right? So I'm sitting there in the back seat pocket, and we're driving, and we're pulling out of downtown Plymouth, and we pull out onto Sheldon Road, Sheldon Ann Arbor Roadish. We're pulling out because we were in uptown Plymouth at one of the one by the post office. So I'm sitting there. So we get out to the road, and I've got my hands in the pocket, and I'm telling jokes and being funny, and I'm thinking, wow, I really like to bang the tall one because we all wanted to bang big hands, big clit. Yeah. And or
She
just
had a big house, too.
and big house. Yeah, big everything. She's a big one. Actually, just tall and skinny. She was
Oh,
like,
like
Paris Hilton skinny and
volleyball
whatever.
type, total
Yeah,
volleyball
it
type.
was nice. So as I've got my hand in the pockets, and I feel something, right? I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh, it's creepy, like tacky. I pull the thing out. It's all the other pictures from New York. And I went, oh, what's this? I clicked the light and I went, oh, it's all compromising pictures of my whore girlfriend at the time with some dude.
Were these the real pictures or the negatives?
No, these are real
These are
pictures.
real.
The real pictures.
Yeah, and
Back then, they had doubles.
yeah.
Okay,
So he got it twice.
Gotcha.
So I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, there's the 13. Here's the other 20 or whatever, right? Oh, Michelle must have gave them back. Oh, there's Amy with a dude. There's some dude kissing Amy on the cheek. Here's Amy dancing on a bar and whatever. And I went, and just dudes and whatever and all kinds of compromising. Wasn't like, one leg up and whatever.
Yeah, male attention. Like,
But again, yeah, and that was her codependency issues, whatever. And so I'm wasted, right? 28 Jack and Coke wasted. And I go, oh, here's a good one. Whap. And I'm putting it right in front of her while she's trying. And she's like, what are you doing? What? I just didn't want to tell you. I didn't want you to see. And I went, oh, no, because lying's a good thing in a relationship, right? So now I'm flinging them from the back seat. I'm flinging them up, and her friend is laughing hysterically, right? Like, she's like, oh my God, you're so busted. Jake, it's cool. She didn't really do anything. And I went, I don't care. I go, but this is a good one. Who's this fucking Puerto Rican fucking handsome fuck, right? Wing.
Who's this
I'm
Gardner
flinging that up.
prick?
And I went,
This Eric Estrada looking fella.
yeah, I'm like, fucking Enrique Iglesias is hanging out with you the whole time and whatever. Like, you didn't bang. Every time you get fucking 2 wine coolers, you're trying to give me a handy, and you're telling me you didn't fucking crank this handsome son of a bitch. If you didn't, you're stupid. And I go, and look, I don't care. I just don't like being fucking lied to, right? So I went, you know what? I go, why the fuck am I going home with you? I'm going to go back with the fighting fucking McMakins. I'm going to go back and drink because you're a lying fucking whore. And she went, oh my God. And her friend is laughing like you just fucking, this is great. Because I'm saying,
she is logical.
and I'm not really mad. I'm not really mad. I'm
just want to go back to the
Well, yeah,
bar.
no, I don't want to leave the bar for this. Why am I?
Exactly.
Why am I siding with you?
Yeah, exactly. You're a horrible person. I'm going. So I was like, so let me out. And she was like, no, it steps on the gas.
Oh, this is where the crazy comes.
She's like, no. And I went, let me out of the fucking car. She went, no. And I went, you do understand, somewhere between here and fucking home, you're going to stop at a fucking light, right? You're going to stop at a light, and I'm going to open a goddamn door, and I'm going to get out, right? So you can let me out now, or you can wait for another half a mile, quarter mile, or whatever. And as I'm saying this, she pulls up to a light, and I went, and this is my cue. And we're doing like 15, 17 miles an hour. So I opened the door and I went, and I was like, ladies, I will bid you a fond farewell. Have a nice fucking rest of the night, Santu. Have a nice rest of the fucking night, and you can go fuck yourself. And as I say that, the fucking light turns green, and this bitch goes, and I'm looking over her, and I see the, and I went, and I'm wasted, right? So there's a variance in like,
You're losing time.
and I went, oh no, am I going to do it? Am I really going to own my shit? I just said my farewells. Like, and I went, and I see like 35, and I went, yeah, I'm probably not going to survive past this. So I open the door, and I get out as if I'm going to fucking get out and just stand on the ground.
Oh, you didn't. Yeah.
I get out as I'm going to fucking stand on the ground. So I open the door, and I put my 2 feet out like I'm just getting out. Just getting out, doing 35 miles an hour, right? And gaining. Put my feet there. As soon as my feet hit the ground, I go, whoop, head over fucking, I put my feet out, and my feet immediately go out from underneath me, and I think at the last reaction, I kind of give it a little jump. I'm doing like somersaults in the middle of fucking Sheldon Road in the turn lane. Whoop, 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 all in the air, and I'm like, this wasn't a bright idea. This wasn't a well thought through plan.
Comes to mind.
So I'm like, fa-boom, fa-boom, fa-boom. I'm flipping through the air, arms and legs. And then as I come to the ground, I hit the ground, I tuck, and playing football for years, you learn how to fall. Yep. So as I do, I kind of protect my head. I tuck my shoulder, and when I tuck, I kind of, give myself as much of a push-off smush. So I brace, I do a little push-off, I do like 3 flips, like after hitting, I do like 3 like alligator roll flips, and land on all fours like a fucking cat, right? Like a goddamn puma. I land in the middle, and it all seems cool until I look and I go, oh, there's headlights coming at me. I'm in the fucking turn lane, and I look, and she is now like stopped and slid sideways, and now I feel as if I'm like I'm on the run.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
kind of,
you
know?
you gotta run.
I was like-
adrenaline's hitting you at that point.
Yeah, because she's gonna run you down.
Yeah, and I don't know what's happening. All I know is I'm Frogger now, and I'm wasted, and I went, oh. So I tear across the street, and I'm trying to get my bearings. The bar is back, a quarter of a mile on the left and whatever. So I begin to hoof it. Now I'm in the neighborhood, right? I'm trucking. Fucking, I'll show you. Goddamn pictures. Hoarding whore, right? Yeah, God damn it. So I'm trucking through the thing. She pulls up next to me. Her and her friend. Her friend now is damn near pissing herself. You are the craziest motherfucker. That was awesome. And I went, all right, I'll do what I want. So I'm trucking through the neighborhood, and she's like, get in the car. And I'm like, I'm not getting in the fucking car. Get in the car. She like pulls over and tries to like pull in front of me. And I'm like, boom, I hit the top of the car. And I'm like, get the fucking car away from me. I go, you guys think you're all cool because you're in a motor vehicle and I'm on foot? And her friend was like, he said motor vehicle. I'm now like in kinship with the
I like her. Can you let
I
her
was
get
like,
out with
yes.
me? We're going back.
She's
And
saying
now
funny,
you want to fuck her even more.
she's saying funny shit. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're fucking awesome. I hate your fucking friend, but this is good. So I'm walking a little further. Her ex-boyfriend lived in the fucking neighborhood, right? So I'm walking, and the bearings are coming, I have to turn left where her ex-boyfriend lived, and he owned his own house. And I went, yep, that Kip son of a gun, right? And I went, I go, look, you will get away from me and do whatever. Or I go, dude, I'll go walk up, knock on the door, pull your buddy out and whatever, and I'll put him in the sidecar with you, and you can talk to him, right? Maybe you can make his life miserable instead of mine, right? And she was like, you would not go to his house. And I go, bitch, if you don't stop following me, that's it. And she was like, get in the car. I went, nope. She pulled in front of me again. And I went Incredible Hulk like crazy. Like I jumped in the air, I grabbed her windshield wiper, and I punched the hood deck of the car, and it went gong gong. And I'm holding like both of the windshield wipers and going, ah, leave me alone. And then I went, wow, what is happening? Like
A normal woman would leave that said person alone.
Man, intoxication matters.
And so does infatuation in crazy level.
And yeah, it was a crazy level. So at this point, she went, you're crazy and whatever, and she tears off. And I went,
You're
sweet.
crazy.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so I'm looking now, and it starts to rain. Because why wouldn't it, right? Because this night couldn't get any better. And I look, and my hand's bleeding, my elbow's bleeding. Not really bad, but enough. I was
God,
scuffed
give
up.
me a shower.
That's right. God's giving me a shower. I go, ah. So
start.
I look between where we're going and the Plymouth Rock Saloon or whatever that Boulders or whatever was, and I know Mark Menendez is working there, right?
Oh, yeah?
Because he was there. We started there earlier, right? We had green beer, so I know Menendez is there, and I went. "Ah." So I begin to jog. I begin to two-step it, right? I just right. I get there, which is good because now the alcohol is coursing through my veins. I'm beginning to feel the fact that I just jumped out of a moving vehicle. I get there. And I walk up to Menendez and I went, Mark, guess what? You owe me a few. Get your keys. You're taking me up to wherever the McMakins are fighting. And he went, no, dude, just stay here or whatever. I'm with my chick. And I went, I'm not going to ask you again. Get your keys. You're driving me to whatever, right? And I grabbed his chair, pulled it out. And I went, yep. I went, Rrr. So I was like, okay. So I get him to drive and he's really mad. His chick's really mad. Kind of, no, this was that Michelle chick that he ended
chick.
up marrying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
all of that.
Security
She
guard.
didn't. Yeah, security guard chick. She didn't like me to begin with. I can't. I didn't really much care for her. Right? She stole my buddy Mark. So get up there. We hang out with you. We get there. You guys are somewhat piped down and whatever, and kind of concluded my St. Patty's Day shenanigans. Don't really recall like what we did after there. I think I got there for like last call or two. We drank like 4 because we used to order 4 Jack and Cokes at last call, right? So, and that kind of concludes it. Something about that last little bit, the Nisi thing, made me go into the St. Patty's Day story. Haven't thought of to jump out of the car in St. Patty's. I would never do that now. I don't think there's enough alcohol that could make me do it. There's something about that mid-level crazy that was pretty
I've
awesome.
jumped out of some cars.
He ran over me
I
in the T1000.
would not be surprised if you didn't do it on the way home tonight.
He ran over me in T1000.
Oh, I did run over you in a car, didn't
For
I?
Menendez! Because we were chasing Michelle Hayes' pursuers.
And I went in reverse. And
I'm
you
going to
got
have to edit that, thank you. But
Pursuance.
first and last name, gay. What? I've never heard this. What?
I ran over him in a car.
Is this where you tried to jump over it? Or is that someone
No,
else?
No.
he just hit reverse faster than the normal human, and I was trying. No.
Whatever.
He got out.
I
He got
rolled.
out. I was driving, and he got out and went, "Hey, blah blah blah," and we're going forward, and he's going forward, almost military style, with the door open, using it as cover. And you get out, and you're like, "Hey, buddy, we need to talk to you," and whatever, and this and this. And then the dude did a zippity doo and went, "Rrr." Well, he's like, "Oh, that was a clever maneuver," and I immediately throw it in reverse and go reverse.
He
The door's
becomes
open.
Fucking
I go backwards with the door, and he goes, "Ah," and
like a
flip,
possum.
flip.
He runs over me like a possum, but I landed
Yep, that was good.
and got back in. You're like, "Are you right?" I'm like, "Drive."
I can't believe you ran over me and whatever. So, all right. So that was McMakin's first entrance into the bachelor pad. One thing I will say: if you ever ask to come here again, the story's the story.
Yeah.
So you got to be willing to. I won't tell random stories. But if you step foot into the covenant of reality radio, we tell.
You've just entered the bachelor pad.
That's right. You've entered the slime zone. We will tell. I tell passing up on a midget. I'll tell whatever.
Yeah.
So I saw
Can't
you.
change the past, okay?
I saw you clinch a couple. It's very cleansing, right? This could work into
freeing.
some regression therapy.
It's like a confessional, except for the odds of you being raped by an elder.
Well, you're
religious
here,
figure, but I'm not an elder.
but you're a priest or whatever, reverend.
Nah,
So,
I'm a reverend. I'm a
Yeah,
reverend.
normally they have to get to a certain level before they can do the shenanigans.
I mean, you're not hiding in a booth telling me your worst secrets either. I haven't set that up yet. It'll be back there in the back corner. Nowhere.
The night's young. So.
Two
There you go.
Fridays. There.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and conclude this. I think we touched on a bunch of weird stuff, and yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, we'll go from here. A couple
for
story
having me.
times. That's good. And yeah, we'll work on it. It's just when we do, we got to go full bore.
It is what it is.
One thing everyone will say, "Oh, there's no way these stories are true." They're true. If anything, we're not making them to sound cool. We're really kind of
We're
embarrassed by
toning
half
them
the shit we've
down.
done.
We're toning them down.
Blazer almost had midget babies, midget hooker babies. That was a thing. Oh, we need to. If we could Photoshop what you would look like if you would had midget baby,
Oh,
like your
dude, I
full
think
head.
that's amazing.
All right, we'll work on that. We'll see if we can't post some stuff to the
Yeah,
Facebook.